Hello, my viewers. Welcome to Hugar Social Academy. As we have learned about a topic called as World Organization from the Political Science, chapter number 22 of class 10 standard Karnataka state syllabus. Dear viewers, in our last two sessions of this chapter called as World Organization, we have learned about how the formation of UNO, in which year it took place. We learned about the organs of the UNO, the role of the UNO, what type of role is being played by these organs. And in our second session, we have learned about the some of the agencies who are the part of United Nations of organization like WHO, FAO, ILO, UNESCO, UNICEF. These all organs with their objectives, they are working for the betterment of the human being. Apart from this, apart from this, in our third session of the chapter called as World Organization, let us understand about few more organs. And these organs are not a part of UNO, but these organs are being created with the mutual trust. With the mutual trust it is. Like, as we very well know that in this world or this world, we differentiate in the name of one called as a Europe, one called as a Asia, one called as a Middle East Asia. In this way, we have divided. And in my previous session, I said that every nation has to dependent on each other. Every nation is not self-sufficient. This made the nations to depend on each other, and even that way, in those in those two sessions, we have studied that how whether it may be the UNO main organs or agencies, it may be there. Every one of them are working related to the topics like education, the science, technology, cultural progress, social progress, agriculture, right? Okay, eradicating of the poverty. These were the major focus which were being done. Now, keeping this in the mind, many of the nations, many of the nations, they started making their own groups on the basis of their cultural, their social, their customs, their languages, their currencies, their requirements, their understanding, their trust, mix up of these all. Now the number of nations decided to join the hands with each other for the progress of the nations. And in this junction, we found that many number of groups were being formed. Many number of groups are being formed, and these are the groups of the countries. Some 10 countries group came forward, somewhere 26 nations group came forward, somewhere 57 nations groups came forward, somewhere only 5 nation groups came forward. Okay, like India, if we take example, now India nearby states, sorry, nearby its countries. Okay, many countries are there. So India with nearby the countries, they made the group. The purpose of making of this group, what it is that to have a proper progress of the nation. Okay, some requirements he needs, some requirement that country needs, some requirement other country needs, some requirement those nations from need from us. we need from them. Okay, so these all things are related to the which one, related to what type of progress has to be done. And every nation, we very well know that every nation want to do the progress. It's because progress is the only way to keep the happiness of the country. Progress. If there is no progress, then there is no happiness. Like how you study for the whole year, and at the end of the day when the result is in a progressive way, then you will also become happy, your parents will become happy, your community members, those all who are attached with you, they all become happy. But if there is no progress, then who all are been attached with you, they all become unhappy because there is no progress, right? So, and even this is one of your example. When we come to out of our house, the basic requirement which are needed for the development of the human being, if in that there is progress, then it's okay. If there is no progress, then one after one different problems are being faced by the human being. This is reason regional cooperations have came forward. Regional cooperations have been came forward with the mutual trust, okay, with the dependence on each other. Now let us in this session learn about different regional on the basis of regional cooperation, which are those different countries who formed the organization and they are working together now. Okay, let us first understand about the Commonwealth of Nation. Earlier this was known as a British Commonwealth of Nation. British Commonwealth of Nation. But later the British word was been removed from the title, and now it is a Commonwealth of Nations. It's a Commonwealth of Nation it is. Okay, which began in the period of 1926. In this Commonwealth of Nation, there are near about 56 countries are there. How many are there? There are near about 56 countries are the part of the Commonwealth of Nation cities. Okay, see the title Commonwealth of Nation it is, and its headquarters is located in the where, in the London, England. Okay, there it is been located. Now, in the Commonwealth of Nation, who participate? Okay, now purpose of participating or purpose of attending is what it is, to make the country progressive way, right? And for this, who else comes for the participation? There is a prime minister of that country, finance minister of that country, foreign minister. If these people most prominent, okay, now prime minister is the one who will lead the country, the finance minister is the one who knows very well that for the progress of the country, for the different development of the infrastructure, there is a requirement of the finance, right? Now this finance, now when in this group of the nations, now think that an underdeveloped nation is the group member of this nation. So that group member who is called as underdeveloped, he is in need of the finance for the development of his country. Now in such cases, the other nations who are called as a developed, now those nations can help to this nation which is called as underdeveloped by providing some financial assistance, right? So foreign ministers, finance minister, foreign minister, very important, because foreign minister is the one who is nothing but who is an mediator between the nations, who is the one who develops a good cordial relationship between the number of nations. His role is very important in the way in maintaining a proper disciplined relationship between among the number of nations. So foreign ministers, moreover, the motto of the Commonwealth of Nation is to move with the democracy, and we very well know that democracy is a one where everyone are allowed to enjoy their life in a very proper way, where people will are considered as the head, as people are given the responsibility to choose the government. So people decides the future of that country, liberty, freedom, eradicating of the poverty, which is one of the biggest challenge to the whole world. It's not of only of one particular country, it's about the number of nations, because in every nations, those all nations where there is a economically weakness has been there, those all nations suffers with this word called as a poverty. So eradicating of the poverty, having a good relationship in the form of the having the sports among the number of nations, right? There is an improvement related to the science, sharing of the culture is the main motto of the Commonwealth of Nations, right? These nations always try to have a friendly ties. When we are saying about the friendly ties, it means that a good relationship is being maintained between the number of nations. The purpose is only and only to what to do, to cooperate in any such sort of situations where it goes under the worst to worst condition. In such cases, the member of nations help that nations to overcome from those situations. So in this way, Commonwealth of Nation, it works. In the same way, there is one more organization which came forward in the period of 1985, which is called as a South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, which is known as a SARC, known as a SARC, with of 8 countries, headquarter located at the Kathmandu, Nepal. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation began in the year 1985 with how many nations? With 8 countries now. Who are those nations? Bangladesh, Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, as well as the eight. Okay. Bangladesh, Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, India, Sri Lanka, as well as home, as well as the Pakistan. And moreover, say one more, the country is there called as Afghanistan. Okay, Afghanistan. Total 8 nations are the part of the South Asian Association for the Regional Cooperation. But one thing very interesting to know this in that, you know very well that recently the crisis has been arose in the Bangladesh. Nepal is a landlocked country. Afghanistan, it's a nation of the terrorist. But recently, there is a government came in a form called as a Taliban government, who is having his own rules and regulations. Sri Lanka, whose economy also collapsed. Pakistan, since from the long the day is been formed, it is a enemy of us. As more than development of his nation, he focus on in what way I should create a choice to the country called as India. In this quest, what happened that these all nations who are here, who made an organization called as a South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation in the Nepal, in the Kathmandu, but which was started in 1985 with these 8 nations. Among these 8 nations, if we talk, only and only the nation called as India, only and only nation called as India, who is economically strong among these all number of nations. Economically strong nation. This is first. Second, India always follow the policy called as a peace policy, cooperation policy. Okay. But when we look over these all nations, as these all nations are dependent on one nation called as India. Bangladesh was liberated because of India, but now crises are there. No proper government. Maldives, whose financially business runs on India, as lot of tourists from India reaches to the Maldives, but Maldives presently it's a not having a good relation. Nepal, small landlocked country, since from the day it has been there, right? He is having a smooth, friendly relationship with the Nepal. Afghanistan, since from the long time itself, because it was known as a terrorist country, now also it has been there, right? India didn't even recognize yet Afghanistan as a proper form of government. It is so it's a bad relation. Bhutan, again small nation. Bhutan having a good relation. Sri Lanka, again it was a good relation, but due to the issues in the form of like Tamilian, Sinhal, say, right? Rebel governments have created a problem in the with the India. Pakistan, as usual, now you know it. These all nations together they meet in the SARC meeting will be held every year, different every country in one or other country, right? It was been decided that this session will be going to be held in this nation. But since from recent few years, it has been found that India has kept a strong words in the name of to kill all the terrorism from the from the nations. Then only we can develop a good cordial relationship among the nations. So being having the SARC, but SARC is not actively properly, it has been working due to some of the clashes in the form of first clash in the form of terrorism, and the second in the form of border issues. Now, but these nations, as when they were being made, they came together. It was decided by the country that there should be economic growth, focus should be done, social progress related focus it should be done, as almost all the nations are having the same social and cultural condition, cultural development, but it should be done with the help of which one, with the mutual cooperation. If mutual cooperation is been there, then only it can be done or successfully. See, there is a great need of mutual cooperation, like how when you after listening the class, when the homeworks are being given to you by your teachers, and when you sit together for the work, and at the time if your friend who has completed his work early than you, if he cooperates with you, then there is a good relationship develops, as sometime you will complete early, at the time he is also need of it. But if you become selfish in that, then automatically this mutual cooperation will be not there, and there will be a differences will be created, and there is the gap it increases. So mutual cooperation is most needed, where moreover the SARC gives the importance, being having this much also gives the importance towards the seminars, towards the workshops for the development of the science technology as well as the agriculture, for the development of science technology as well as the agriculture. In this form, the SARC what it is doing, he is working. So our Commonwealth of Nation it may be there, our South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation it may be there, as I said, the group of number of nations with the some mutual understanding which are very common among each other, very common among each other, makes them to come nearer and work for the which one, for the betterment of the nations. In this way, few more are been there organizations, a few more regional cooperations are been there, organs have came forward. Let us learn in our the next session.